Edouard from Italy. Well, we can try the Con Sicilian here. Maybe not. So the immediate bishop move, you can challenge it with e6. And let's see, if you bring the knight out, you could push this pawn forward. I like to bring this knight out first. Then I could put the queen here. Yeah, this actually will be like the Con Sicilian. I'll put the queen here. Then bring the knight out. You can't push this pawn forward because I've got the queen and the knight on that square. Okay, he wants to push that pawn. What happens if I play if I play d5, excuse me, if I play d5, he can just take because there's a pin here. I don't have enough force to support that. So I need to unpin. If I just move my bishop in front of the king and castle, he can push this pawn forward. So I guess I need to decide if that's something I care about. I think I do. So I have to play this. Okay, so he goes for an open Sicilian in the end. Let's unpin here. Yeah, he's really intent on getting that pawn push in. Let's castle. The knight has a square to go to, so it's not a problem. The question is, do I want to use that square? Do I want to take first? I think I don't want to take. And open up the F file for no reason. And I guess I am threatening to win a pawn here. Pawn takes, knight takes. So he should take if he wants to hold on to his material. Then my queen and bishop will be lined up on this pawn. His knights can't go to these squares because of the Con pawn structure. That's one of the points of it. You have pawns here and here to keep the knights from coming into these squares. Okay, so he plays aggressively. Maybe he's thinking of sacrificing here. What's the value of that sacrifice? Let's take first. My reasoning is I think I can take back with this pawn and use that to clear this area. Okay, but he throws in this move. It's a tempo move. It hits my bishop, which he can take with check. I can move my bishop with check. Let's go ahead and do that. Now what? I need to take the knight back, I guess. I'm just wondering, is there a better way to take it? The problem is that now he's got a pawn on this square, which I didn't want to allow him to have. So it's not what I planned to happen here. No. It's not bothering to take it. Here, let's kick the queen. Okay, let's take the pawn. Now I can kick the queen again, which I think is interesting because you know, he's got threats on the dark squares. So let's go with that. Now I'm wondering, I can push this pawn forward again. This bishop will probably come here. I can lift the rook up. But I think it's going to be good to have this these solid pawns here in the center. Gave up this square. If his bishop comes there, yes, I was going to lift my rook. Oh, you know, maybe he has the mating attack now. Yeah, with that. That is an idea here. Do I have anything? He's going to move the bishop with check. If I put my rook here, threatening to take this bishop, he can take here with check. I can take back, and then he takes here. Yeah, it looks bad. So yeah, my pieces got a little too tangled up there. I need a counterattack on his queen or something. And I don't really see it. I could try moving the knight out of the way. Let's see what he does. Okay, decides to win the exchange. Good choice. Yeah, I'm not sure which way to run. Whether to go to the back rank or to go up here. Seemed like I had a little more choice up here. Yeah, he's got that. He has that. Might have been better for him to bring a rook here first. Because this is giving me time to get my king to safety here. Maybe. Maybe. We'll see. I have the knight and the bishop on this square. The knight also defends the rook. So when I move the bishop, the queen will be under fire. And he's a little short of checks. Let's go ahead and put the bishop here now so my rook can get into the game. So what have we got? I've got a rook and 3 pieces. He has 2 rooks and 2 pieces. Plus he has a destroyed king side here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a pawn. So it is an exchange and a pawn that he's up. He's up an exchange and a pawn. Not quite sure where I want to put this rook, but let's get it out of the way. Okay, I don't quite see the point of that. I guess I should move faster now that now that I'm down to 8 seconds here. 11 seconds. I thought he was just going to take my bishop, you know. The slow attrition strategy. Gonna unpin with my king. Gonna bring this bishop up to attack his queen. Maybe win his bishop over here. There's also a check here. Yeah, I moved that way too fast. Check here is mate. Well, I was down to 11 seconds and I just had to play an instant move. Let's just win this. Another reason why I should have taken my bishop. Also, this pawn push here was a horrible move. He was probably trying to do something that would cause me to run out of time, and he got punished for it. Okay, let's see if we can play a rapid game. Kind of a fun ending there. Okay, c4. Let's play a nice, calm, relaxing game. Oh, look, someone almost with the same rating as me. A nice, relaxing game of chess. It's a little unusual, I think, to bring this knight out instead of the other one. I don't know if it's a problem. Yeah, both knights come out anyway, so could have been done in either order, I guess. So, yeah, when he puts the bishop there, then I don't go for the Botvinnik setup, but I block the bishop's diagonal. If I played a3 here, I'd have the same pawn structure as I had in the previous game, but with the colors reversed. I don't think, I don't think I fianchettoed my bishop in the previous game, though, so it's not the same position. It's just I could get to the same pawn structure on the queen side, at least. Yeah, let's prepare to castle. Yeah, so he can bring this light squared bishop out to pin my knight, or to try and trade off my bishop. That's pretty typical. I don't think it's a problem. I can push the f-pawn sometimes. That's useful to break the pin. Or I can move the queen. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start pushing these pawns and drive his bishop back a space or two. But let's see. What does he have in terms of counterplay here? Trades. He can trade this guy. He can jump in here with his knight. Yeah, at the moment that just loses. He can jump in here. Yeah, so this a3 move keeps his other knight from coming in looking at my weak light squares by controlling this square. So let's erase all of that. And he wants to keep his bishop there, so he plays a move. So the question is, what's my move here? I can chase this bishop away by pushing the h-pawn. But it's not trapped. Yeah, he could keep the pin by going here. So I can't break the pin that way. If I want to break the pin, I have to move my queen. which I'm not really ready to do, or I have to push the f-pawn. So let's go with the f-pawn. Now there is this annoying pin here, but he has no immediate way to exploit it. Let's defend this way, because I'm thinking of putting my bishop here. I think I will take a move to move my king to the side and unpin this pawn. I'm going to wait on that because his next move might be here just to trade bishops, in which case my king move would be pointless. If I have the bishop here, can I undermine this pawn here? Maybe knight here. Yeah, knight here is possible because he pushed this pawn forward. So bishop here, knight here, and then d5. I think that's what I would like to go with here. Let's start with the bishop move and wait and see if he wants to trade off the light squared bishops. Yeah, if I get in d5, then it's not so urgent to get my king off this diagonal. He still has no piece that's threatening to come here. Yeah, I thought he might do that. So this is kind of a threat. I'm threatening maybe to take here and take this pawn. Not a huge threat, but maybe. So he takes, and now my king is off the diagonal. So that's all good, and I'm ready to play d5. So this f3 move, maybe it looked funny, blocking in my bishop, but that was a bishop that got traded anyway, so now it's a fine move. It's controlling these squares, keeping his knight out. I like it. Yeah, he's attacking my knight. I could trade, or I could kick the bishop first. Say I play d5. And he takes my knight. I take his bishop. Where is his knight going from there? His knight is hanging. Can't come here, here, here. So his knight just goes back. And then I can take another pawn. So I can play d5. If I play d5 and he just retreats his bishop, I can take over here, win a pawn on e4. And he can win a pawn on b5 by taking my knight. So it's kind of a trade. Do I like this trade? No, I don't like it because my e-pawn is hanging at the end. Bishop here, bishop here, pawn takes. He can take the knight, I take back, takes the pawn, I take back, and then he can take this pawn with this bishop, which is sitting here. So I'll find something else to do if he just retreats the bishop. I'm kind of expecting him to take, though. And if he does take, that solves my problem. If he takes the knight, I don't have a problem with that. Just have to think of what to do if he just moves the bishop back. Probably I take the knight. And then my d5 point is still adequately defended. Yeah, I think that's the right solution. And then later I'll lift up my queen and bring my rooks to the center. Yeah, I guess this is a critical moment. Does he have any other options? No, he just retreats. So what I said was, yeah, I was going to take the knight, so don't have to worry about this threat anymore. And then just lift up my queen. So now my queen is defending here, and I am threatening to take here. Let's erase that. Yeah, so he takes. That's kind of what I was expecting. So if I take with the pawn, it keeps his bishop shut out, but it also is blocking in my bishop, and he might push his d-pawn forward, rather. So I take with the pawn, he plays d5, and then my bishop is kind of shut in here. I could take with the knight or the bishop, and yeah, let's take with the knight. That'll allow me to defend defend these pawns from behind, bring a rook over, and creates a little asymmetry in the position. And this knight, hey, it's got a square it can go to. There, or maybe here in the right circumstances. Okay, so it looks like he's going to try and reposition that bishop. Or, oh, maybe he's just keeping my knight out of that square. Let's bring the rook over. So looking at this now, maybe my queen should have gone directly to d3, supporting a knight coming here. Okay, so he pushes there. He can take with the knight, and he'll have another piece looking at this square. Yeah, I'm going to put my queen on d3 anyway. Maybe I should have just moved my knight, except I wanted to get my knight to this square. I would have had to move it somewhere not as good. But maybe I could have moved my knight, for example. Maybe I could have moved my knight back, and then there would be this pin here, so I wouldn't be able to take the pawn. Oh no, it's not pinned. Take that back. His queen is defended by the knight, so not a pin. Yeah, so here I thought just take with the pawn, keep my queen here, but if I do that, the knight is actually pinned against my queen. My queen is not defended, so I will change my mind here. How well defended is that knight? It's got two defenders with the queen. I was just wondering if I could push my e-pawn maybe. If I do that, the danger is he will find a way to kick my queen away and take the knight. But actually I'm not seeing that at the moment, that he could do that. And I can bring a rook over to defend after the pawn is pushed to e4. Yeah, let's just do this. Pawn to e4. It's another way to get my knight to f5. It opens up this diagonal towards my king. I mean, it is a dangerous... There is a flip side to that move, but, well... If he wants to keep my knight out of f5, he'll play g6, I guess. And I'll probably be putting my rook here opposite his queen. Pretty even game, it seems to me. He brought his rook back to the back rank, so his rooks are connected. My pieces look like they're stationed a little more forward, but he's got a good bishop there. His knight, I guess his bad piece is the knight. If he could find a way to bring that into the game, maybe this would be good for black. Yeah, there he goes directly. So I don't want to defend it first, but because there'll be a kind of pin here. I mean, he can give up his queen for 2 rooks. But, as I was saying, if I just move the knight right away, his queen can come in here with check. If I block with this rook and defend the bishop, he can take this rook. And if I block with this rook, that should be okay. Okay, this is dangerous, so let's double check. Knight here, queen can't come here, could come here with check, can't come here. Well, coming here is a trade. Can't come here, can't come here. So the trade, how about that? Queen here, I take, he takes with the rook, it's hitting this pawn. I have a knight here, which can deliver a check, but it's not actually threatening much here. I have the threat of bishop takes knight and messing up his pawns, and his rook is hitting this pawn, which I can push forward. Yeah, let's put my knight on the active square and see what he does. Oh, and if the queen comes in with check, then I have a rook, this rook up, because the queen defends that square. Yeah, that was the move I was expecting, but let's see. If he'd gone to d3, he could still go to d3. But it's not actually forcing a trade. Although my queen can't move. Okay, so I have a knight here with check, but it doesn't go anywhere from there. I have knight takes pawn, king takes, and then his knight is pinned. So if I was attacking his knight, so he brought his queen over to defend. How about I get rid of the dark squared bishop? If I go here, bishop takes, knight takes, should be fine, right? Try and get rid of your opponent's good pieces. He tries to save it. So still there's this check. Do I have a clever way to lure his queen somewhere? I can hit the queen with my bishop now. Yeah, I think he might be in trouble here. If the queen goes to this square, I have check and take queen. He can go to this square. But then his knight is loose. Potentially. Oh no, the bishop is not pinning anymore. So he kicks my queen. Just drop back here. Or I could take the c pawn. Is that what he wants me to do? I mean, it's interesting. It's looking at some of his pieces here. It's looking at the bishop. Queen is hanging. Yeah, the bishop is hanging, the queen is hanging. If this rook moves, this is hanging too. I think he got into trouble here. What are we? Only on move 26. It seemed like a longer game, I guess because my opponent was carefully thinking. Okay, he spotted the problem there, but I'm just going to take his bishop here. Well, I don't know if he spotted the problem, but he avoided this square, so probably he did. And I was trying to figure out some way to force him to a bad square, but I couldn't figure it out, so I think maybe the queen is safe there. Oh no, there was still an idea here of pushing this pawn forward. Let's go ahead and do this. I push the pawn. Where can the queen go? Yeah, the queen is trapped. Oh, you know what he can do? He can play knight takes pawn. I fell for that one. I fell for that one. Okay, well, I can move my knight with check first. No, I think I should just take here. He's going to get a rook. I take, queen takes with check. Oh no, the knight comes in and defends the rook. We'll see. I'll be 2 pieces up, but his queen is in my face here. But the knight nicely defends the 2 rooks. The rook defends the bishop. He can take... Oh, and the knight defends the pawn. There's no check. Okay, so let's finish this. What's the best way? Queen takes or rook takes? I've got time. Rook takes, he's going to push here. Rook here is check. King goes this way, it's mate. King goes this way, it's check and mate. So I think rook takes is stronger than queen takes. As long as he has no check here. Yeah, and he ran out of time looking for a move, but I think it was all over. It's just to show this. He goes here, I just go here, check. He's got 2 choices. If he runs this way, it's mate. Yeah, that's right. If he runs this way, it's check first, and then mate. So what that means is he doesn't have time for this. He needs to try and stop the mate somehow, but this will just lose everything. So I think it was already game over. Well, it was probably game over from when he lost the bishop, but anyway, that's where he ran out of time. Anyway, good games. I'll see you all next time. Bye.